Hello, so I'm going to show you 5 things I'd like to grow again this year. To start off with, the squash Amoro F1 is definitely something I'm going to try again this year. I started it a little bit late, so I only had 2 squashes, but they were so good that I'm going to try again and learn from my mistakes. The squash had a chestnutty flavour, and I made a soup from them, and it was so good. It's a great little squash for city gardeners because it's quite small. So yeah, this is one I'm going to try growing again. Here you have a seed. I only have one left, so I'm going to have to buy more. It's a small seed because it's quite a small squash. Here you have the leafage. My container was also too small, so the squash, as you'll see, was smaller than it should be. So I'm going to do it in the ground this year. But the flavour was still outstanding. So squash Amoro F1 is the number one thing I'm going to grow again. The next thing I want to grow again this year is the H9 little leaf cucumber. It was super tasty, and because it's a little leaf, there's a lot more airflow, so I found that it grew really well. There was little powdery mildew, and so consequently I had a lot of cucumbers that grew very well. It was very disease resistant and it was very tasty, so why not grow it again this year. Again, I only have one seed left, so I'm going to have to buy some more, a very small seed, because it's a little cucumber as well. And here you'll see an example of what it grew to become, a tasty green cucumber. And of course, you can't have a garden without tomatoes. Everybody has their favourite tomato, but the first tomato I ever grew alone was the Zuckertraube sweet grape tomato. I just grabbed whatever I had at the start of the pandemic, and lo and behold, it was super lovely, super sweet, super prolific, and I'm just going to want to keep growing this. I'm also going to want to try growing more beefsteaks because they're more for slicing. But the Zuckertraube tomato, I've not heard many people recommend this one, but I found it to be super lovely, super vigorous as it says, and super sweet. So this is one I'll grow again. I have a few of these, not many, but obviously you can very easily propagate tomatoes. If you have one or two, you can just take off the side shoots. Here we go, an example of some of the tomatoes. Not all of them are the Zuckertraube, but just lovely in general and tasty tomatoes, homegrown. The fourth thing I wanted to grow is basil. Lots of different basil, but I tried Thai basil this year from the Vital Seeds company, which I thoroughly recommend. They're such a great seed company. I think they're independent and great communication with them, organic seeds. And the basil, unfortunately I don't have a picture of this one, but I can attest to its lovely flavour. Here are some of the seeds. I still have a few of these. And on the back they always give you some sowing suggestions to sow in March, July, this recommended spacing as well as when they packaged it. The germination rate was very good and I got lots of nice basil from it. And then the final thing I definitely want to grow again is radish. It's super easy to grow. I live in the city, I don't have much space. I just picked up the first best radish package I had, but it was really lovely, the Sparkler 3. I just kept successive sowing it, and it was very nice. So this is one I'm going to want to grow again, because you can just add it to salads, munch on it when you're watching the TV or watching gardening videos. So I'm going to grow some more radish again this year.